How about when you look at this 10-game conference schedule? Obviously, it's different, an unorthodox offseason, really a lack of an offseason. You get Florida and Alabama, 2 of the first 3 games of the season. How are you getting your team prepared for those early challenges you're going to face?
Well, we're not doing anything different than we would normally. But it is obviously a lot more difficult when you don't have some other games in there that hopefully you play well in those games. They get a little lopsided, and you're able to develop your talent and play different guys. You're going 10 SEC games only, so it's very challenging. But at the same time too, it's exciting to know that, and so you should be preparing really hard and practicing really hard, knowing that that's coming.
So what's the mindset then for your team now, knowing, and for your team and the coaching staff, really knowing that you're not going to get a ton of reps to prepare for some of these teams, but you're going to have to hit the ground running because the SEC is one of the toughest conferences out of the Power 5.
Yeah, Reggie, I mean, there's so many sets of obstacles here, that you mentioned, with not having those other games. But then also you've got this whole Corona factor. We lose kids, one day we come in and, we go to practice, and that morning we'll get a text, from the trainer that three kids are down, and maybe 3 others had close contacts are down. So we're just trying to develop our entire roster, because I think you're going to need it. And I think, everybody wants to learn the playbook and lift weights and run really fast. Well, that's all great. But maybe the biggest obstacle for teams is who's going to manage Corona the best to have the least kids out every week.
Mm-hmm. So I want to follow up really quick, one last thing. So do you simplify the playbook then?
We haven't. Ours has gotten a lot more simple than it used to be. When you guys played, we were more pro style back then. And so because of tempo reasons, we cut that terminology down, plays down. So it is a lot easier to play early now, I think, than it used to be.
Coach, you've won 5 different conference titles over the last 6 seasons with 5 different starting quarterbacks, and you've got yourself a bit of a quarterback quandary, probably a good one. You've got a one that can run it and one that can throw it. So how are you handling the quarterback battle right now in camp?
Well, Rob, we'll put you in charge of recruiting, because I had not thought of that. Recruiting 5 championships with 5 different quarterbacks. So
you're welcome. I'm here for you, man. I'm a team player.
We'll tweet that out today. So these 2 guys, really excited to work with them. We've had 7 practices now, and Matt Corral, really talented arm strength and a young player. They were both just freshmen, so they'll both be sophomores this year. And then John Rice Plumlee, I think, had 1,000 yards rushing or close to it, as a freshman, which is really amazing in the SEC, because a lot of those games were later in the year, not the early games. So it's awesome to have those guys to work with and see who starts, and most likely both will probably play.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College Football on Fox.